Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robandphoto.com, and today we're going to be looking at an absolutely fantastic photo book, National Geographic photographs. I picked up this little volume at our local car boot for the princely sum of about £1. It's a slightly older book. I think it was published in about 1994, but I think there's been several editions since then. And it's a collection of photographs, mainly photographs and articles from the National Geographic, from it's the early days of photography back in sort of the early 1900s right through to sort of 1994. And what's especially interesting about it is it's encompassing the era of film. Even though when they wrote the book, that probably wasn't what they were thinking about, the fact that they were going over to this new dawn, if you like, of digital photography. And so what you're getting here is not only a collection of fantastic looking photographs, but also it's almost like a standard of what not only film cameras are capable of, but what we can do with our digital cameras. And how, if you think about the hardships that film photographers have to go through or had to go through to get their images, kind of makes you appreciate as digital photographers how easy kind of we have it now. So I'll do the best I can just to show you some photos and through it. But what I'll do is at the end I'll throw in some close-up photographs so you can see what you're getting. But basically, it's printed on really fantastic not photo paper, but high gloss paper. And as you're flicking through the book, you'll find photos from the likes of Steve McCurry and all the sort of famous National Geographic photographers. They're the famous Afghan girl that Steve McCurry took quite a few years ago. And you will be sort of struck just by how beautiful, how vivid that lots of these photos are. And I like to think of them also as a kind of a standard that we can all not only aspire to, but sometimes we need to hold ourselves back in terms of the editing we do. Being a magazine that's all about unusual stories and getting to the truth about issues mainly to do with our world and the natural world and people and things like that, the photographers aren't allowed to use, for example, digital manipulation, obviously because these are film, but in the After Effects, or even in fact compositing, or lots of the things that we kind of take for granted today that sometimes maybe take away from our photos and make them more towards digital art than what could be considered a true photo. And kind of by looking through the photos you'll see in this, you'll be very inspired, but you also think, oh well, how beautiful they are, just how beautiful our world is as well. Now there's a bit of a caveat to that, because the world is a very beautiful thing, but only if you're there at the right time and at the right place. We all know that if we travel just down the road to where we live, I can go down to the beach down at Stokes Bay, and right now it's a sunniest day. The sun's quite harsh, so it doesn't look that pretty, but in the evening or in the early morning when the sun's at the right angle and you get a lovely sunset or sunrise, it looks absolutely fantastic. And in the articles they talk about this as well, is the fact that one of the great things about the National Geographic photographers that are featured in the book is, they live kind of by that mantra almost of F8 and be there. You've got to put yourself in an unusual location or an unusual situation with a fantastic subject. That will then give you the opportunity to take some unusual and beautiful photographs if you can sort of recognise the light, get yourself in the right position, use your composition skills to sort of frame and arrange that photo in the way that will give you something absolutely stunning. And the way that they do it again here is, it's not, you're never looking at things that are abstract. You know what the subject is, but the way that the photographers put the images together is very special indeed. So if you want to look at some really stunningly beautiful photographs, and you also want to give yourself a kind of benchmark as to, I don't know, what a great photo, and especially what a great colour photo can look like, because sometimes we go too far with post-processing, maybe with HDR and things too much, or maybe we don't boost the saturation and things like that enough. Then, to be honest, I think you can't really go wrong with a book like this, because it will inspire you and inform you as well into what really great photographs look like. Okay, so that's National Geographic, the photographs. My name's Rob from robnunphoto.com. Thanks for watching.